There are 25 key areas in your business that you need to optimize now in order to make sure that 2024 is the year that you dream about, that you pray about. You're listening to the Move to Millions podcast with Dr. Darnyelle Jervey Harmon, the place to be for high-level conversations about all things millions. Your mission, mindset, methodologies, mandate, movement, messaging, marketing, metrics, and most definitely your money. I am your host, spiritual business growth coach, Dr. Darnyelle J. Harmon. Join me each week for inspiring stories, powerful interviews, and business growth strategy to help you experience abundance in your life because of your business. If you're ready to move to your next level everything, let's get this party started. This episode is powered by Move to Millions Live. That's right. It's Move to Millions Live season. Registration is now open for the only live event experience you need if you are a $1 million CEO or a $1 million CEO in the making. If you've gotten a copy of Move to Millions, the book, then you want to join us live in May to watch the book come alive for you. Get all the details now at movetomillionsevent.com. I am so excited to welcome you to a rewind episode of a powerful must-have now episode on the Move to Millions podcast. But before we jump into this rewind, if you are new around here, let me just take a few moments and say welcome. We are so excited that you are here. We are grateful that our podcast is reaching new countries and new entrepreneurs every single day. A few things I want you to know about this powerful podcast. Although we call this the Move to Millions Business Podcast, we are actually in the spirituality and religion category for a reason. See, I believe that there is a strategic advantage to understanding the significance of leveraging powerful spiritual principles along with business growth strategy. It's the secret sauce that has helped me and 42 clients scale to and sustain $1 million companies. And I am so excited that you are here because through this powerful podcast, it's an opportunity for us to get to know each other. You'll learn a lot about me, who I am, what I bring to the table, and how I can help you to build a business that serves you both financially and spiritually. Every single week on this podcast, I am showing up and giving you the best that I've got because I am so clear that we need more $1 million companies in the world. If you look at the very alarming statistics of 33 million small businesses in the United States, 13 million of them being women-owned small businesses, only 4.2% of that 33 million ever cross seven figures, 1.9% of women and 0.5% of Black women. This has got to stop. So thank you for being here. Thank you in advance for rating and reviewing this podcast so that you can help us to get out into the world. More people need to know that there is a viable way to make the move to millions without having to hustle and without having to grind. I know as a society, for those of you here in the United States, we were born and bred to believe you have to work hard for money. But the fact of the matter is this: hard work won't make you millions. It only makes you tired. You have got to understand the significance of the role that alignment plays in building a business that serves you both financially and spiritually. I invite you, if you are just coming for the very first time, to go back, listen to those previous episodes so that you can learn more about the Move to Millions movement and firmly indoctrinate yourself inside of our community. We also have a free Facebook group for you to join, and we will always invite you to join us at our annual live event, which happens in May of every single year. I'm excited because this rewind episode is exactly what you need right now. Now, here's the thing. I have to be honest and transparent, and I probably even owe you a little apology because the fact of the matter, we're talking today about your end of year checklist. I believe in beginning with the end in mind and thinking about your business from your vision point and not your vantage point. And quite honestly, you should have gotten this episode at the top of the fourth quarter instead of just before the month of December. I apologize, but you guys know we launched a book this year, Move to Millions, the proven framework to become $1 million CEO with grace and ease instead of hustle and grind is now in the world. I am so excited. The reviews are in, the reception has been amazing. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who has bought multiple copies of this book. Some of you bought a copy because you were a little skeptical. I get it. But then you got your copy, you started reading your copy, and you realized that everyone in your crew needed to have a copy. So thank you for coming back to buy more copies of the book. Thank you for those of you who've already left a review on Good Deeds or Amazon or Barnes & Noble or wherever you purchased your copy of the book. Thank you. When I wrote this book, I wrote it with the intention to give you a very clear understanding of what it's going to take to make the move to millions and how to do it without having to compromise your faith, your family, your freedom, your finances, or your fun. That was my mission from jump. And I'm so glad that I did it. And I'm so glad that you guys now have in your possession what it's going to take. But here's what I also know. As good as the book is, you need access to community to actually implement it in a way that is going to make it sustainable in your business. And the best way to do that right now is to grab your ticket for Move to Millions Live 2024. Okay, so we first ran this episode in October of last year, and I wanted to give you guys something that I give to my Move to Millions Mastermind clients. Move to Millions Mastermind is our intimate, high-end coaching, consulting, and mentorship experience with entrepreneurs and small business owners who are navigating that millions messy middle. They've gotten their businesses successfully to $200,000 to $300,000 a year. They've got millions on their mind, and they need community, coaching, and mentorship in order to pull it off in a way that doesn't compromise everything that's important to them. One of the things we do with our clients is every 90 days in the mastermind, we get together for 2 to 3 days to work on their businesses. Often, this is the only time that work is being done on their business. Well, I'm going to let you behind the veil in this rewind episode so that you get to experience a piece of what it's like to boot in the Move to Millions Mastermind. As a result of this end of year checklist, which although again, I apologize that you're getting it on Cyber Monday, but I want you to do as much as you can between now and the end of the year, because this is going to set your business up to have a trajectory to make millions. We have had clients actually go through this end of year checklist and generate an additional $20,000 to $100,000 just while going through the checklist. That's how powerful it is. If you love the Move to Millions podcast and the Move to Millions book is blowing your mind, then you have got to join us for Move to Millions Live. All the details are waiting for you to secure your seat at movetomillionsevent.com. I'm also going to invite you to get your own copy of the checklist. We'll put it in the show notes, how you can go and download it so that you can add it to your business's SOPs so that every fourth quarter, you start working on these very powerful items to make sure that you are preparing your business and giving your business the best leg up at getting to and sustaining the $1 million mark. So as the CEO of a company that is preparing and nearing the $1 million mark, it is essential that you are on top of every key area and function of your company. Even if you have an operations manager, an online business manager, a director of operations, even if as the CEO, you need to be clear on the pulse of your company. So as the end of the year approaches, it is my recommendation that you leverage a powerful set of tasks that are going to help you to finalize your current year while also preparing for your new year that is on the way. Ideally, again, you want to begin working on this checklist at the end of quarter 3, the top of quarter 4, so that you have enough time to get everything done and set your business up for your best year yet. Now, again, we were releasing our books, so that's why you didn't have this then. But this is the key to having the right systems and processes in place in your business, and it will help to reduce the amount of effort and maximize your income and increase your overall impact. Something else that's really important as you go through this process is because I want you to get accustomed to working on your business, and I also want you to be proactive as you work on your business, you want to make sure that you're working on your business at least 90 days ahead at all times. Think about retail, right? Retail establishments put up Christmas decorations before Thanksgiving, almost right after Halloween happens. You can see Christmas happening, right? You go in a store in December, they've already got spring clothes out and all of the winter clothes are on clearance. So we want to adopt that same approach in your service-based business in order to be successful. So here's what I want you to do as you think about this end of year checklist. I want you to first spend some time visioning where you desire to be in your business in 10 years. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to see it in real time, in real life, as if it is your current reality right now. Where do you desire to be in your business in the next 10 years, 10 years from now? Now, once you can see that, you can hold it, you can feel it, then I want you to start backing into what it's going to take now to be there in 10. So then I want you to think about where you're going to need to be in 7 years in order to be there in 10. Then, in order to be there in 7, where will you need to be in 5? And in order to be there in 5, where will you need to be in 3? And in order to be there in 3, where do you need to be in the next year in your business? This is where the end of year checklist comes in. Now, you want to be honest with yourself as you go through this checklist. It is quite possible, especially if I'm not your business coach and mentor, that you don't even have all of these things set up in your business. And that's okay. This is not the time to feel any kind of way about what you don't have. This is the time to actually begin the process to get these things in place so that you give your business the best chance at being able to scale to and sustain $1 million revenue or more. One of the things that I think is going to be really important for you to do as we approach the end of the year is to complete a SWOT analysis. SWOT is an acronym that stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Your strengths and weaknesses are internal to you. That means you control them. And your opportunities and threats, they're external, which means an outside force controls them. And you have to be clear and cognizant that there's often nothing you can do about your opportunities and threats. You can be aware of what they are, but your ability to bring them into your business may not hinge solely on you and your abilities. So I want you to think about your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. I want you to think about how you could make adjustments to each of them so that you can actually position yourself to get to where it is that you desire to be. So as an example, we have a client that works in college readiness and preparation. She does college consulting and she helps families get their children into a college that feels like home. Well, a threat to her, if we're thinking strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, just as an example, would look like if the United States decided to make a college education 100% free, then that would threaten her entire business. She can't control that, right? Now, there are things that she can do in the event that that happens. And that's why understanding her strengths and her weaknesses are going to be very, very important. Now, when you do a SWOT analysis as a part of your end of year checklist, or even as you work through your business without our checklist, you're going to make sure that you also do a SWOT analysis anytime you launch a new product or service. Once that launch is over, you should go through the process of conducting a SWOT to validate what went well, what didn't go so well, what you could do better next time, and the things that you want to be cognizant of as you move forward in your business. Things to take into consideration as a part of this process at the end of the year is what makes this a game changer for you. I promise you, most entrepreneurs and business owners are flying by the seat of their pants and they're not planning enough. But you've heard me say on a multitude of occasions, before you make the move, you've got to create the plan. So once you know what it is that you could do different and better, you can alter the plan that you are operating on inside of your business. As a company, we run our business on a 3-year strategic plan. That means every year we're evaluating the next 3 years. We go deep on the current year that is coming, but we have already figured out what we're planning to do for each of the next 3 years. Are you ready for Move to Millions Live 2024? Well, registration is now open. It is going down May 22nd through the 24th, just outside of Washington, D.C. You have to be there if you have millions on your mind. If you think the book was something, wait until you get into proximity to your next level. The conversations, the clarity, the collaborations, and the community that is going to get you to and beyond the $1 million mark is waiting for you now. Go grab your seat at movetomillionsevent.com. I know you love the Move to Millions podcast. I know you can't wait every single week for me to drop a new episode. You know what that tells me? It tells me that you're also going to love my brand new book, Move to Millions, the proven framework to become a $1 million CEO with grace and ease instead of hustle and grind. Listen to me. Everything you need to know to make millions of dollars without losing your shirt, your sanity, or anything that's important to you in the process is in this powerful book. It takes what you are experiencing each week on the podcast to the absolute next level. Go now to movetomillionsbook.com to grab your copy. We have our KPIs, we have our strategies, we have who we're hiring, we have what campaigns we're running, we have what new initiatives we are actually going to be bringing to the marketplace. All of those things are very, very important. Something else that's going to be important to you as you go through this end of year is making sure that you have a conversation with your financial management team. Now, I'm going to do an entire episode on your financial management team, but you want to make sure that you have a group of financial management professionals that are helping you to steer your company. Included in here is your bookkeeper, your CPA, your CFO, but I don't believe you need a CFO until you are making millions of dollars a year. You can get by with a great bookkeeper and accountant who is also a tax strategist up until that point. You're also going to want to evaluate and have a relationship with your certified financial planner and a business banker. You want to make sure you have a conversation with all of them right now. If you haven't already in October or early November, schedule that conversation as soon as possible because they're going to help to be able to drive what's going to happen in your business as you finalize this year and prepare for the next one. Something else that's important to keep in mind is that you want to have a conversation with your small business attorney. Now, ideally, you should have two. You should have at least a small business attorney and an intellectual property attorney. Both of them needs to be a part of your team so that you can make sure that your company is legally sound. Listen, you cannot get to the $1 million mark and then try to think about legal ramifications and making sure that you're protected. You need to begin with the end in mind. Again, that's my favorite Stephen Coveyism. Who must I be now in order to experience a $1 million or multiple $1 million business in the very near future? So going through the process of looking at what's in your end of year checklist is going to make a massive difference for you. I actually created a training that accompanies the end of year checklist. So when you go to the link in the show notes and download the checklist, it's going to go a little bit deeper into many of the components that are on the checklist. It's designed to help to make sure that you know what it is that I'm talking about. Right? If we're not currently in community, if you're not currently working with me in one of my programs, then some of the things that are listed on this checklist are going to sound like I'm speaking Greek to you. The training is designed to help you. So we broke it down based on the 7 areas of your business so that you know everything that you need to be focused on tightening at the end of this year as you prepare for the new year. By setting an end to the year and going through the process, this is also going to give you a strategic start to the new year. Everything has the potential to change now for you as a company when you are working proactively. Because you're going to start running your business a quarter ahead, everything is going to change. You can get your team started working on the assets that you're going to launch in Q1. I mean, in fact, honestly, if you haven't already started thinking about Q1 in your business, you are behind the 8 ball. And I really don't want that to be the case for you. You're going to want to also make sure that you are clear about your marketing and content calendar for 2024. You already need to be thinking about that. You already need to be thinking about when you're planning your own vacations, so that time is blocked out on your calendar and you can respect it. Self-care is a business growth strategy. If you're one of those businesses who creates a theme or a focus for the year, then you want to start thinking about that now as you're rounding out 2023 and getting ready for 2024 so that you can start thinking about your company strategically at a high level and start thinking about what you and your team are going to need to do to direct their efforts. Now, sometimes when you're doing this, you may have competing themes, right? So one of the things that I realized in writing Move to Millions, the book, is that I want to help every entrepreneur and small business owner that is millions minded, that has a business that has them navigating the chaotic corridor called the millions messy middle. I want to help them to ascend to the version of themselves they must be in order to truly step into being $1 million CEO. So me knowing that at the time of writing the book, at the time of working on our end of year checklist and preparing for the new year, allows us to make sure that our programming lines up specifically to what it is that we're making available and we want to help our clients and community members to actually do. One of the things that I realized in making this a priority for us and looking at our year-end checklist as early as possible is that it allows for systemization and streamlining of the business so that we can hit our milestone without having to sacrifice what's most important to us. So when you think about the Move to Millions continuum, there's an entire episode here on the podcast about the continuum. Whether you are at Momentum, which is $100,000 a year, Mastery, which is $100,000 a quarter, Millions, which is $100,000 a month, Majesty, which is $100,000 a week, Monumental, which is $100,000 a day, having access to the end of year checklist actually puts you in the running to hit a new milestone in the new year. Because you're going to learn how to be proactive, it changes everything for you. This checklist has gone on to help many of our clients be able to finalize their current year while preparing for their best year yet. So we're going to share the ins and outs of this checklist. There are 25 key areas in your business that you need to optimize now in order to make sure that 2024 is the year that you dream about, that you pray about. I share that it is so important that you understand the significance and the role that confidence plays with you. And I've shared that confidence hack in the training so that you'll start to see yourself as $1 million CEO that is worthy of making and moving millions of dollars inside of a business that is streamlined and systematized through the use of this end of year checklist. We talk about which systems are critical so that you are not the bottleneck inside of your business. And I also share the number one thing that you have to stop doing so that you can bring your 7-figure company into view, as well as a few case studies and success stories of some of our clients who have leveraged and scaled their businesses because of this end of year checklist. Access to the checklist and training is really designed to keep you moving your business forward to do what you need to do and serve you in a way that prevents you from having to hustle and grind. Listen, we've all done enough hustling and grinding, and we've got to stop. We just have to. And depending upon where you are right now, there are specific shifts that you'll need to make that'll prevent you from hustling and grinding, but it will also tighten your system's infrastructure. So by getting access to this checklist, which we're going to put in the show notes for you, you'll be able to determine what you should be focusing on right now so that you can start the new year in the best powerful way. The powerful training that comes with it, it's going to blow your mind. Y'all know how I do. It's going to also set you up to be able to have your best year yet inside of your business. This was not an originally planned thing. I did it for my clients. And then all of a sudden I was like, you know what? Let me do it for everyone because I think it's so powerful that you have access to it. So I want to just invite you to make sure that you go to the show notes and get your copy of the end of year checklist. It's a game changer. It is truly going to take your business to the next level, and it's going to allow you to start acting proactive. When I think about everything that's listed on this checklist that you need to take a look at, that you need to clarify and confirm, this is the start of your own move to millions. I'm so excited for you. I cannot wait to celebrate you when you join us at Move to Millions Live 2024. Just outside of Washington, D.C. We want to make sure that you join us there to get access to everything that it is that you need. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Thank you for joining me for the Move to Millions podcast. The way I see it, you deserve a business that generates millions. We'd love to have you join us in May at Move to Millions Live to help you prepare, plan, and position your company for the $1 million mark. Visit Move to Millions event now to grab your seat. If you enjoyed our time together, do yourself a favor, head on over to iTunes, subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. Until next time, remember, millions are your birthright, and to access them, you need only move. See you next time. Take care.